hide your wives, hide your kids, hide your family, hide your cats, hide your dogs, hide everyone you know, because this alpha male here is gonna go after everybody you know. What does it mean to be an alpha male? So of course, there are lots of misconceptions and false images that come to our minds when we think of an alpha male, when we think of what it means to be an alpha male. Often, most of the time, usually, I don't know exactly why this picture is in our heads, but basically it's an aggressive, an aggressive male, right? Now I know this image is not coming in your heads, or certainly not in my head, because my definition of alpha male is different. But in the mainstream society, for a lot of humans, I'm not going to say the majority, probably the majority, because the majority is just over 50%. So for the majority of humans, their definition of an alpha male is an aggressive, sometimes violent male. And certainly where I grew up, I had to fight a lot. And I grew up in the Middle East. I had to fight other kids. I had to assert my dominance. I had to defend myself. So basically, to put it to you simply, due to the dominating consciousness of humans, a lot of humans are like the teenagers. This is a school. Life is a school. We're in a school. Animals will be the children. Humans will be the teenagers. So what is the teenager? Teenagers usually are a mix of children and adults, right? So the average human awareness is a mixture of animal consciousness and God consciousness. Okay, so you visit humans most of the world, they're very nice, they're very kind, they'll help you. That's not an animal characteristic. Animals don't help one another. A lion is not helping a leopard. Okay, in fact, they kill each other's cubs and they compete for food. It's a competition world, animal consciousness, right? It's me before anyone else. Okay, sometimes you see like animals helping their own species, but for every time that happens, there's like 10 other incidents where that animal is actually causing harm to their own species. Think of lions, for instance. Sometimes a lion will help a lion, because it's part of the pride, but they're more frequently aggressive and violent to one another. And actually the male lion, when the female lions catch something, he eats first. Anyway, we're going on a lot of tangents here. Hear me out. Animal consciousness, competitive, violent, aggressive. That's what it means to be an alpha lion, for instance. A female will look at an alpha lion who's aggressive, who's strong, who's killing the other lions, right? And because she's embodying that animal consciousness, she says, that's the alpha. That's who I'm going to follow. That's who I'm going to mate with. So, humans are sort of in the middle. They have some of the animal consciousness, but some of the God consciousness, the higher awareness, the heart chakra. So humans help one another. You go ask for directions anywhere. I traveled, all across the plane, all across the earth, and every single country that I've been to, people are very helpful. They want to help you. They want to tell you where to go. That's the God consciousness. That's the part of us that has like empathy. Like, oh, you're lost. Let me help you. Right? The heart. So we're sort of a breed. Most humans in their awareness are a breed in between that. A lot of humans, because they're caught in the animal consciousness, especially in certain places in the world, definitely where I grew up in the Middle East, they lean more towards the image of an alpha male being aggressive, violent, and dominating. Okay? And sure, if you want to go ahead and adopt, animal consciousness, if you want to adopt a less than ideal perspective, go for it. It's just not going to help you karmically. We're all here to learn and to evolve and go back to source. It's not going to help you all that much. Okay, so take it a step further then. What would be an alpha male from perhaps a more enlightened perspective, a higher perspective, a perspective that's more in line with God consciousness? It's basically, I can say it in many different ways, but it is basically compassionate, empathic leadership. Okay? Because in both different definitions, the animal consciousness definition of alpha, like a lion, An alpha lion is someone who's dominating other lions, killing them, literally killing them, you know, mating with all the females and being aggressive to them, killing the cubs of other male lions, competing male lions, and then everyone else in the Lion Kingdom looks at him, sees he's the leader. That's our leader. So in both cases, the animal definition of an alpha male, and then the higher, more enlightened definition, the one that's closer to God, empathy, compassion, right? The higher perspective, the angelic perspective, is also a leader, but he's leading through compassion and care. He cares. An alpha male, from that perspective, cares for his loved ones, cares for the people, cares for others, and is a leader. Okay? So leadership is a key element of being an alpha, but also compassion and empathy, and care and love for your own, for loved ones and for others, for other beings, for animals, for plants, for humans. Okay, so, and here's an interesting thing. Now this is where I want to make the link. The link is alpha. If you want to be that, the more enlightened perspective of what an alpha male is, it's actually a brainwave. And if you get yourself in that brainwave, which is an alpha brainwave, and you put yourself there on a permanent basis, you're more likely to embody qualities like compassion and empathy and love and care for others other than yourself, and leadership also. Okay, so let me explain to you. There are, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you that's all the brainwaves there are, but there are I believe four or five basic ones that we at least know of, that, you know, some scientists and investigators have been able to identify. We have delta, so from the lowest to the highest, lowest and highest. It doesn't mean one is better or worse. Okay, just simply put, the frequency is lower. Okay, so we have delta, and I'll explain to you what each represents. Okay, delta, theta, and alpha, beta, and then we have gamma, which is superconscious. So 5 of them. Delta is when you sleep. Period. When you're in deep rest, deep sleep. There you go. You're just in deep rest, deep sleep. We all experience it every single night when we just go and we sleep, when we're in the deepest part of the sleep. You're not dreaming, or at least you're not remembering your dreams. You're just in deep rest. That's it, just deep rest, okay? Next would be theta. Theta, dream state, okay? Body is completely asleep, mind is awake. Either it's awake, lucid dreaming, or just having like regular dreams. We all, you know, if you had a dream last night, you were in theta. Or, so that's unconsciously. Consciously, we can lucid dream, or what I love to do, meditate. Meditate, so meditate. I use binaural beats, I've talked about it in previous videos, but meditate. So when you meditate, your body becomes still asleep, but your mind is awake, and then you can go into your subconscious, you can reprogram it, you can do all kinds of cool things with your mind in that theta state. So you could consciously get to the theta state, either if you learn how to lucid dream, or more probably this one is more graspable for most of us, meditate. If you learn how to meditate, put your body asleep, mind's awake, you're in the theta state. Next would be alpha. Alpha. So alpha is calmness. No, you're not afraid, you're calm, you're receptive. It's a learning state. Okay, in many ways alpha is a flow state. Okay, it's you're in flow, you're aware, you're in the present moment, you're present. You're here, you're in this world. Your senses are sharp, you're calm, relaxed. There's no anxiety, no fear. And then beta. Beta is a chaotic state. So the controllers, the architects of this false socioeconomic matrix that most people are stuck in, want to put everybody in beta. For instance, artificial lights at night. At night, everyone's brainwave goes naturally into alpha, by the way. Okay, naturally. And then it goes, so its body's preparing for you to sleep. So you kind of go through these different stages, these different frequencies, brainwaves. So, yeah, so that's where those, you know, malevolent controllers want humanity to be stuck in is the beta state. It's chaotic, it's chaos, it's anxiety. If you're someone that experiences anxiety on a regular basis, your brainwave is in the beta. And if you want to get rid of your anxiety, you want to spend more of your time in the alpha state, in those other states. But alpha is here, you're in this world. Theta, you're going, you could do everything in Theta. You can reprogram your subconscious, you could astral travel, you could dream, you could visualization. And the body in Theta can't distinguish between real and fake. Okay? It's an experience, you feel it. But your body's completely asleep, right? So, beta is the chaos, chaotic, everything's chaotic. It's chaos, it's anxiety, it's fear, okay? Fear. So you could see that being an alpha male is a state of mind, really. It's a brainwave, really is what it is. Now, think of our healthier, more enlightened definition of an alpha male is a compassionate, empathic leader. So in an alpha state, you're here in this world. You're not going in the dream worlds like in Theta, or you're not going into imagination. You're here. You're in this world, perfectly here, perfectly aware, sharp senses, clear mind, no fear. You see, to be an alpha male, you're relaxed. You're not anxious. You're relaxed. You're relaxed in the present moment. You're here, right now. If you want to experience an alpha state, I'm gonna give you guys towards the end of the video ways, so bear with me here. Now, I wanna link it further with children. So, children between age 0 and about 2, they're in the delta mostly. You see children just sleeping, babies. And they begin to sort of move into Theta. From about age 2 till about age 6, these are approximations, they go into Theta. So you see children between 2 and 6, they're always dreaming in imaginations, they're dressing up, they're it's like they can't distinguish. To them everything is real. They're in here and there also. They're in the dream state, but they're here. To them, everything is a dream and everything is real at the same time. They can't distinguish, for instance, Santa Claus is real. They really believe he's real. Okay, and so children between age 2 and 6, they love to anything fantasy, right? Fantasy, fiction. To them, it's just as real as hurting your foot. Being here, hurting your foot, or falling on your knees, or riding a bicycle. From about 6 to 12, the brainwaves start to change into alpha. And that's when they begin to, their ego begins to solidify, because they're more in the solid physical world. You see? So the ego begins to solidify, they become here more, they start to, I want to grow up, I want to become an athlete, I want to become an engineer. They start to sort of leave that state, that Theta state, where everything is real and not real at the same time, and you're not grounded, you're here, you're there, more here, right? Oh, I want to grow up, I want to become an athlete. I want to grow up, I want to become an engineer. I want to grow up, I want to be a musician. You become more here, alpha. And you notice children between that age, if you go into your own being, unless you grew up in an extremely traumatizing state, they don't seem to have anxiety. Even though I grew up in a pretty brutal place with a lot of brutality in terms of the consciousness and the awareness and the oppression, but still I don't remember experiencing much anxiety between those ages, because the brainwave is just more naturally in the alpha. And even when things were just really bad, I just wanted to go and play, and I just, I didn't really have fears like, oh my God, something's gonna happen, like there was a war going on at the time in Iraq. I wasn't in Iraq, I'm not from Iraq. I grew up in Qatar, and there was a lot of fears at the time. Well, how old was I? 11 or 12. There was a lot of fears that, because Qatar had a military base there, there was a lot of fears. The adults were so afraid that something's gonna happen in Qatar, like Saddam Hussein's gonna bomb Qatar or something, because they had an American military base. I didn't care. I just wanted to go out and play with the boys. You see, brainwave is in alpha. right? So, well, basically, if you look into the hero's journey, it's the journey of becoming a wise child. Again, so you go back, you become a child, unless ye, like in the Bible says, or Jesus said, unless ye become like little children, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. That's basically what it is. And unless ye become like a child in the brainwave, in alpha and theta, both, a mix of both, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. Because adults, this world brainwashes them to be in the beta. Chaos, fear, anxiety. You see? So yeah. So being an alpha male is essentially being just a wise child again. Children also, you notice, they tend to have more empathy, more compassion. You see? They tend to have just more of that. So in an alpha state, because there is an absence of fear and anxiety, you are able to think clearer. As an adult, see, as a child, you're still naive. You go through the hero's journey, you gain the wisdom of adulthood, and then you switch your being, your brainwave, your being, your perception back into that of a child. And that's what being an alpha male is. Being an alpha male is to switch back your perception into the perception of a child, and yet maintain and continue to gain the wisdom of being an adult. Because you're an adult, you can lead, you can take action to change the world. Something children you can't do. You're vulnerable, you're naive, you're small. You know, you gotta grow up first before you're able to do what, before you're able to lead, before you're able to make significant changes in the world. And so if you want to truly be an alpha male, not in the animal consciousness version, because again, we're all here in this beautiful game. It's a playground. It's like a kindergarten. We're in a kindergarten where you play and learn at the same time. And you learn through playing. We're playing a game. And yeah, we're here to learn. So therefore, if you're stuck on the definition of an alpha male as someone who's aggressive, violent, it dominates everyone else, yeah, you've got some work to do. We all got some work to do. But that's a lower consciousness, lower awareness. It's a perspective that must be at some point transcended. The soul that's having all these reincarnations as a lion eventually has to learn there is a different way to do life, and then that's when the soul is able to take on a more evolved organism such as a human. Okay, so yeah, that's being an alpha male in a nutshell. It's change your brainwave. Now, okay, let's be practical. How do you do that? Okay, so meditation. Simple as that. Meditation. All right, meditation allows you to go back and forth between theta and alpha. What meditation does, it allows you to go into theta, and in theta you can reprogram your subconscious mind. You can do so many cool things. You can visualize. You can change your behavior. It's so beautiful. It's a dream world. But because in that state you can't tell what's real and what's not, you instruct your subconscious to do something, and it will do it. It will carry it out. You can instill new habits, etc. And what meditation allows you to do, and has to be done consistently on a regular daily basis, is it allows you to come out of the meditation state. You can go into theta or alpha, depending how deep. I use binaural beats because they're so good at getting you into the theta state. Then when you come out of the meditation, if you meditate often, you'll remain in an alpha state for the rest of your day, or until your next meditation. I like to meditate twice a day to continue this staying more and more of the time in the alpha state. So I meditate, early on the day, and I meditate in the evening. What that does to me is it sort of on a regular basis keeps me in the alpha state. Because you go into the meditation, you go deep, you go into theta, you come out of the meditation, and you stay in alpha here in this world. Your senses are sharper, you have more clarity of thought. You feel better, you have more energy, you're more connected with your fellow beings, whether it be their plants or animals or humans. More connection with the divine, with the source. More optimism, more compassion, more empathy, right? So meditation would be, for me, the primary one. Another one, it can get you right like this. Go take a cold shower. Because, think about it. You're taking a cold shower, you're overthinking, oh my god, it's cold. You're having all these thoughts, you're overthinking everything in your head. Then you go into the cold shower. You're in beta, right? You take a cold shower, and your mind calms down. It puts you in alpha. Okay, that's like a quick 5-minute fix. Boom. And it usually lasts for a few hours after. You just remain in alpha after a cold shower. You guys know who take cold showers, you know that feeling of well-being, of calmness. You may be overthinking, and you overthink about different things in life. Then you take a cold shower, and it's like a switch has been shifted. You go from a beta male or a beta female before the cold shower. 5 minutes, you're an alpha male, an alpha female. Your brainwave changes like that. 5 minutes of just cold exposure into alpha. You see? So yeah, that's being an alpha male in a nutshell from a more enhanced perspective. I extend my sincere gratitude to our beautiful, generous donors. Thank you for your generous donations. If you feel a calling or an urge to support this channel in a financial way, I have a link down below in the description for that. And I also offer services, consultation services, if you would like to book a one-on-one call. The links for all of that is in the description. Give us a follow on Instagram. It's just my name, my YouTube name, Saeed Mobayed. Go on Instagram right now, Saeed Mobayed. Follow, okay? And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.